Aloha, and welcome to Voices of Truth One-on-One with Hawaii's Future, brought to you by the Keahi Foundation. I'm Ehuke Kahu Cardwell, and here we are today in Kailua on the island of Oahu, and wait until you see who we have on the show today for you. Let's go on over here and meet him. Keahi, aloha. How are you?
Makai.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
Introduce
to meet you
yourself to everybody.
Yeah, aloha. I'm Keahi Pi here, and I'm one of the project managers here at Kekahua Kuali'i here
Wow.
in Kailua.
Wow, but you have a certain skill we wanted to talk to you about today, and that is you're a Hawaiian rock wall masonry expert, yes?
You could say that. You could say that.
Well, you build them.
Yes.
You build them. That makes you an expert. Yeah. So how did you get into that?
I've been fortunate enough for the last 14 years to be working at Pōhaku, our traditional Hawaiian fish pond here in Hawaii. And that lokoia, that fish pond wall is over 1.5 miles long, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to restore that wall.
So you got your training there.
Yes.
In using the rocks to restore the fish pond wall over there.
Yes.
Okay, now I see down this trail right here that we have some rock walls.
Yes.
Can we walk down here as we talk?
Let's take a look.
Good, super. Tell us a little bit about how you start putting a rock wall together.
Yeah, in everything we do, we look back at our kupuna and how those little blueprints that they left us that we can remember, and that simple olelo no ea o ke kahua mamua mahopi ke kukulu. Your kahua, your foundation needs to be solid.
Mm-hmm.
So the bottom stones of our wall, these rocks right here, we call them niho. And on our body, our niho are our teeth.
Yes.
And like our teeth are rooted into our gums, our niho stones need to be rooted into the aina.
Mm-hmm. Into the land.
Yes, right into the land. And that way, even at the lokoia, 800 years ago, those rocks were set, and those niho stones are still in place.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the greatest feelings, is getting to touch those stones again that, our kupuna brought 800 years ago.
800 years ago, wow.
Yeah.
So the way that they did it, the method they did it, is with the method you use today, yes?
From our kumu who have taught us, I've been fortunate enough to learn under Paleke Flores, who's one of the head masons for the Napali coast.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing restorations on Kauai in Napali. And the style we learn is some from kupuna and some from getting to interact with walls and trying to restore them as similarly as we can.
Mm-hmm.
So really using the pōhaku as our kumu.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing how our kupuna stack them, and then we try to mimic what they do.
So what you're saying, Keahi, is these are the teachers right here.
These are the teachers.
The rocks are the teachers.
Doesn't get better than that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. They tell you where they want to go, yeah?
Exactly. And unlike maybe brick walls and stuff, every pōhaku is different. Every pōhaku is unique. And that way to, it's an art. Yeah, the way you can formulate it in your mind. When I grab a pōhaku, I know how I want to sit it. Mm-hmm. When I see it on the ground, it goes in as I envisioned it. And that's where we hope, and we teach people how to uha humu. That's what we try to get them to understand.
Where do the rocks come from that you stack into walls?
Traditionally, and the ones that we get to interact with at the lokoia, they came from our ahupua'a.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then there's amazing stories. Right across from us is probably one of the most beautiful rock features still left on our islands, Ulupoheau. Mm-hmm. And there's stories of those pōhakus came from Wai'anae.
Yes.
All the way to this.
I've been up there.
Yeah.
It's an awesome thing to be in front of and just be there.
Yeah, be in awe of the multitudes of rocks.
Yeah. I can't walk any further without mentioning something that's right behind you. And as I know you know, rocks are living beings. They are not inanimate. And every now and then you see something on a rock, like you oftentimes will see a rock's face, yeah?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And here we are right here.
And it's got a pico in there and everything.
Yeah, look at that. A smiling face.
Yeah.
Look at how happy that rock is.
Yeah, and when you can see the beauty in rocks, that's what we get to, when the people who are trying to train in this practice, when they start appreciating rocks for their faces, for their alo, every rock has an alo. They all have faces.
Alo.
Yeah,
different
alo.
face, yep.
And then to notice the smile, notice the eyes. But yeah, pico is so important to us. Yeah, we're our pico. What connects us to our aina, and rocks are ultimately our aina. Yeah, so what an amazing rock to look at.
I assume that different rocks have different personalities.
For sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And that may sound strange to some of our viewers
Yep.
to hear. What do you mean rocks have personalities? That's not possible. People have personalities. Maybe my dog has a personality,
yeah.
but rocks don't have a personalities. So let's explain this a little bit.
Yeah, not only in function, function, a rock might hold a different function. Those beautiful flat rocks, of course, we want them for the tops of the walls, and we call them our papale, yeah, our caps. Yeah, so we can put our papale stones. Different rocks have, like for emus.
So excuse me,
yeah,
this could be a papale, yeah?
these are beautiful papale stones,
Right
and as
here.
you look down our walls, you're gonna
Yeah.
see these beautiful flat stones.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we like to say ai kamea loa'a, like you eat what you get. So in your rock wall building, you have a pile, you need to save these rocks, you know? Like you play konane, you play Hawaiian checkers to make sure your last move is the correct move.
Yeah.
So saving these papale and not utilizing them throughout your wall because you know their function, you know their personality is best suited for the top of the wall.
Yeah.
We'll save them.
So there's a strategy to building these walls.
Oh, yeah.
Just like chess,
Yeah.
or anything in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to think, we always say think 3 moves ahead.
Wow.
Because the top of the rock, when you set a stone, the top of the rock has so much to do with what you can place on top of it. Yeah. So not just what it's on the sides or its face, but the top alo of the rock needs to be set correctly as well. This place, this aina, we call it ke kahua o kuali'i, the foundation of kuali'i, and this is our kahua. Yeah, this is the foundation which we will be building a hale on in the next couple months.
A house.
Yes, a house.
Wow.
Yeah, so like the Olelo no Iao, the Hawaiian proverb says, your foundation must be solid before you can build. And I think we have a great start with a foundation that won't be moving anytime soon. The amazing thing our kupuna had that they knew could level things was water. So if you can see the horizon, you're always able to make a flat line.
To squat down and measure it like that, right?
Yeah, you can look, our horizon is the flattest thing we can get. Now with buildings and stuff in certain areas, you know, we no longer can see that. But yeah, I believe traditionally, like even with Ulupo at its height, the horizon would have been the thing. And like at the Lokoi'a, being at the ocean, we utilized the horizon to flatten our walls out.
How long did it take you guys to put this together?
If you combine the number of days, it probably took us about 25 days.
25 days.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Less than a month.
Less than a month.
Oh my goodness.
It wasn't done 25 days in a row, but yeah,
Sure.
a few weekends here and there. And
Wow.
yeah,
So all those rocks were trucked in here, yeah?
these rocks were trucked in here. They're actually donated, so we're very fortunate in getting some donations of rocks when people are clearing their land. In this particular case, they were dredging a river that was getting a little too clogged up and a little bit too much rock in it, and they're looking for a place to get rid of it. And what better way to utilize our pōhaku than to build this pōhaku right there.
Look at these here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So our little Keahi, they
Yeah.
had too much character to go into the wall. They
Yeah.
need to sit out
Look
here.
at this guy here.
Yeah.
What a face. Another couple of happy rocks.
Yeah.
They're the greeters.
Yeah. They watch over this place when we're not here.
Exactly right. Yep. There's your security system right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Keahi, this is how many layers high, would you say?
For each stone layer,
Yeah.
yeah, we got about 10. You know, I mean, these are bigger rocks, especially when you look in the areas with smaller rocks. It's probably more than 10 layers of rock right here.
Keahi, I notice a couple of things about this wall standing here from this perspective. It's not only, of course, deep, it's at an angle, and it curves around just like you were saying with that formation.
Yep.
How difficult is it to achieve that?
Yeah. And again, it's just making relationships with your pōhaku so that you can. This is about a 30-degree lean back we have going here, which is, I think, a pretty steep slant.
Yeah,
comparative to
because most
vertical
people would
walls.
think, well, that's just going to fall down this way.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, so that the lean back is super important because this is dry stack. And you want all, because we have aina behind it, we have dirt, we want this wall to sit back on that aina. And this wall was built 10 years ago and a rock hasn't popped out yet, you know, not from this area. You know, we have never had to restack these walls. So yeah, it has a lot to do, gravity, leaning back. The cornerstones are called pōhaku Keahi. Yeah, there are cornerstones and they have to have the integrity and the shape to not kick out. Yeah, so we're using these very purposefully, again, in saving and seeing those alos and faces before we build, so that we can save these pōhaku Keahi right here.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. And this is going to be the front door
Yes,
to the building?
It'll come right into the hale that will be built here next month.
Wow. Wow. Okay, Keahi, it's now time to talk about the big main thing about all of this. And that is that unlike Western culture, in Hawaiian culture, there was no difference between things that are animate and inanimate.
Yes.
There was no such thing. There is no such thing in the Hawaiian culture and in Hawaii as an inanimate object. In other words, correct me if I'm wrong, but these pōhaku, these stones are just as animate as you and I are. Yes?
Yes, yes, very much
Yeah.
so. Without what we see around us, we don't exist. Our culture doesn't exist, our people don't exist. So to leave out the pōhaku, which is like that word pōhaku too, right? Is po and haku are two very heavily words in our culture. Po is the darkness, where we come from. We all come from po. And haku is, we've utilized that word in a modern sense, like for even like gods, yeah, like haku, like these masters or these people we look up to. So our pōhaku are those beings that came from po. And again, we always link ourselves back to Pele, who helped create some of our land that we live on, and these are her pōhaku.
Yeah. Yeah, but isn't it also true that because we, as well as everybody else, comes from the aina, the land, and at the end of the day, at the end of our life, we go back to the aina, that we're related to them.
Yeah, and you know, we say when we walk these lands, we're walking on Papa Hana Moku. Yeah, Papa that gives birth to everyone. And without Papa and Wakea, you know, with Wakea giving life to Haloa and then giving life to our people, yeah, we're no different.
When you build a wall, you listen to the pōhaku because they talk to you, yes?
Yes.
They tell you.
And we talk back.
Yes.
We talk back to them all the time.
Yes.
Anytime we start uhahumu, we pule. We pule to our pōhaku.
Say a prayer.
Yes, we say a prayer. One, for safety, because one way rocks do talk is they give you little pinches and they let you know. Maybe they didn't want to go there, or maybe it wasn't their time. You know, and then some rocks are gonna tell you in when you're picking it up, and you feel it, and you have it in your hands, and
they're saying, I don't want to go there.
Yeah, or they're saying, I would love to go there.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So many ways they can speak to us.
Yeah. So that means that every single one of these pōhaku has either given you permission or not given you permission. If they've given you permission if they're here as part of the wall, but they haven't given you permission if they're like over there, not part of the wall.
Yeah, and maybe they wanted like our pōhaku ki'is over there that wanted to stand by themselves and
be the greeters.
Yeah, and be the greeters.
Yeah.
And we actually have two other stones in the field out there. And those are our hapai pōhaku for makahiki. So for makahiki ceremonies to begin, those pōhakus need to be lifted off the ground and placed on the shoulder. So those are our makahiki pōhakus that we walked walls and we walked places to find those. And when we found them, we knew that they were the ones.
So Keahi, how do you learn, how do you get trained to listen to rocks?
It takes time, just like anything else. It's important in our culture to have our spaces so that we can do that. Because without our cultural spaces, I don't think it's as easy. I mean, you can go into nature and sit by rivers, but really understanding how and why our kupuna wanted to utilize them. Yeah, how come they needed to be so ingrained into our lives? Once you understand that, then the rocks speak to you even more, because when you see the rock, even just driving by it or walking by it, it's telling you like, hey, I would be an amazing pōhaku kihi, or I would be an amazing papale in your wall, you know.
They're good salesmen.
Yeah, they're great salesmen, and they don't have to say much.
Wow, that's amazing. So, you know, again, we come back to Hawaiian culture, that everything here at all times is speaking to us and telling us things, sometimes very important things, if we would only just learn how to listen, yeah?
We're always trying to find out like how to reconnect ourselves. We always get so disconnected. And our hail, which are our temples but built out of stone, they're that portal. The people on the va'a, they've taught us that the hail on a va'a is where the mast touches the va'a.
The va'a being the canoe.
The canoe. So your mast touching your canoe, that's the hail. And the magic of that is that's where the power of the wind transfers into the power of the va'a to make it move. So that's the hail. So our hail do the same for us. They transfer the power of our akua back into our pōhaku and back into our aina and ultimately back into us. So I think we have an ahu here that is our altar that we pule in the mornings, and when we have makahiki, we give our gifts to our ahu that are ultimately connected to our kupuna and our akua, our ancestors and all those gods that make Hawaii a very special place. But that's also where we get to reconnect with those people and with those akua, our gods.
Yeah, and how old are these rocks, do you think?
Oh,
Millions of years old.
Millions of years old.
Okay, so that means that they have been able to talk to all of your ancestors in person, in the flesh.
In the flesh.
They have been with them. And now, so you get to talk to somebody who's talked to all of your ancestors, who's probably touched your ancestors.
Yeah. And there's nothing else in this world that I think you can say that about.
Yeah.
And you can say that worldwide, not just in Hawaii.
Yeah.
But everywhere.
Yeah, except most people don't know that.
Yeah.
In the Western world.
Yes.
You know, Keahi, I know Hawaiians, I know Kanaka, who have pōhaku in their families. And that pōhaku has been a part of their families for many generations. And I don't mean as part of a wall, I mean they will keep that pōhaku in their hale, in their house. And they will pick them up, they will hold them, they will talk to them, and they will listen to them because it's a family member. And yet if I go out and tell somebody in the US that, hey, I know a guy that talks to rocks, they're gonna go, well, this guy has rocks in his head, you see. But that isn't true.
No, not at all. I think just the basis of what you were speaking of, where we can touch pōhaku that our kupuna touch, is one simple way to explain it. But to put your mana, we all hold mana, we all hold power, and when we can touch something, we will take and give. We'll give and receive that mana back into those things. So we can bring life to whatever we want to bring.
Yeah, and mana is kind of like a fingerprint, if you will, because your mana is unique from my mana. Everybody's mana is unique. And so it's literally true to say that your ancestors' mana is in these rocks.
All of them.
All of them. Every single one of them. And now you have added your mana.
And the next generation will add theirs.
Yes. Yes. Keahi, is it possible for you to give us a demonstration of how you build?
I'd love to.
Wonderful.
We'll walk over to our little kahua right there. Well, not so little. Again, we call it uhauhumu pōhaku, which is the weaving together, and that's because when you look at brick stacking, you'll never stack bricks right above each other. You need to stagger or create that bond, and you hope when you step back from the wall, it looks all as one. Not each rock. You don't want to be the rock that sticks out, and you want to be the same. So that's the goal, is to veneer it and make all these rocks look as they're one. So there's 4 different types of rocks, or that we give names, the names to, and the rock doesn't get its name till it's there, till it finds its home. Then it becomes that stone. So our bottom stones are called our niho stones, which we talked about. And then coming up, the stones as we come up, they're called alo. Yeah, and that's what kukulus, that's what builds our wall. Those are the faces of our wall. Everything in the back that you don't see, but that are so significant in keeping the rocks in place, they're called haka haka. And then our last stones are called papale, and those are our capstones. And those are the 4 stones we utilize. So no matter what the size of the stone, it has an important role, even the smallest of pōhaku. Yeah. So as I look at my stones on the ground, I look for the faces. I look for those alos. So as I grab this one, I'll look for its alo. And a lot of people that would maybe build it concrete might think this is a beautiful alo, but there's no support in setting a rock like this. If I can just tip it over with very little force, compared to when it's laying down flat, it's very hard to move. And we want to utilize that idea as we put the rock into the wall. So as I look for my alos, I see a nice alo right here just for this particular rock. I'm going to see this. Again, I'm going to go in with intention. I'm not going to slam the rock down. I'm trying to give this pōhaku a new home. I'm going to place it in. Yeah, I'm going to make sure my alos are running with it. And then the big idea is to make sure your top is flat, because that'll make it easy to stack on. So again, as I go to another rock, I find these alos and I go in with the intention of making this alo face out. I'm going to look down the wall and make sure my alo's there and close. If it needs any type of support, we grab these smaller rocks, which are our haka haka. Yeah, and they'll be the support for our wall. So we can place in these haka haka. Yeah. And although it looks simple, it's taken me years to get to the point where I can look at a rock and place it in. And I would actually be honored if you could help me set one, because when your rock goes in, that rock gets to be there for the rest of its life.
Yes.
You know, so I'll give you a chance. Like, this is a beautiful alo to set in.
Yes.
And maybe you can place this guy into the wall, right next to that yellow stone. There you go. You want to bring this alo right out to the...
Right. You want it like that, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to get a haka haka back there for you.
Yep. There we go.
And we'll put a few more haka hakas around that one.
Right there. Just like that.
Just
wow.
like that.
Wow.
You know, everyone setting one rock made this wall.
Wow.
You know? And maybe it was more, but it just takes one rock, and you know, that rock will remain there for...
Wow. And that's Ehu's pōhaku.
Ehu's pōhaku.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to put your mana into that pōhaku just now, and yeah, it'll stay there. And maybe one day, you know, your ohana comes back to this space and you're still here.
Wow. Gonna make me cry.
Oh, yeah. All
Wow.
the things you've done over the years, you know, you keep our culture thriving, so now you get to stay in the wall. And let's put one more up there just to lock it in there.
Yep.
Again, looking for my alos, locking Ehu's pōhaku. Yeah, and then you can just see that face run right along.
Yeah. Yeah. Keahi, what do you think the world would be like if everybody knew this stuff and lived their lives along these principles?
I 100% believe it would be a better place. When we can give that aloha to aina and to things that will go into all aspects of our life. Like, if we can appreciate what Mother Earth has given us, like, how much better are we gonna take care of our aina? maybe it starts with someone touching a pōhaku and it changes their life like it did for me. Pōhaku's changed my life, and I'll be forever grateful to them for that.
Keahi, thank you so much for being on the show today.
No problem.
It's been amazing lessons, and it's been an amazing experience to be not only with you, but with everybody here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to close the show by coming back over here to our two friends over here, the greeters.
Yes.
Because we can't leave them behind. They have to be part of this. All right, guys, you ready? Mahalo to you, mahalo to you, mahalo to all of you, as well as a special mahalo to Ehu's pōhaku. And Keahi, mahalo to you.
Mahalo Yahweh.
Thank you for being on Voices of Truth today.
No problem, and come back anytime.
We will, we will. And mahalo to our viewers for joining Keahi and me here today. Remember, you can watch us on the web 24/7 on voicesoftruthtv.com, and you can like Voices of Truth One-on-One with Hawaii's Future on Facebook. I'm Keahi Cardwell for the Kewaunee Foundation. Until next time, ahui o.
Free Hawaii Broadcasting Network.